victim coming within 5 feet of victim. Victim stated,
All right. We're just for seconds in, and already TWO hatchets are being swung. This isn't just a minor altercation, this is deadly weapon territory. Under Texas law, that approaching within 5 feet detail matters. Intent and proximity are key when it comes to assessing threat levels in assault with a deadly weapon charges.
according to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 005111, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense,
Yes, ma'am.
any objections?
No.
State,
Not from the state.
No
defense.
objection.
Quick legal check. No objections from either side. No witnesses. And both parties reviewed the PSI report. That means we're skipping a full trial and going straight into sentencing arguments. Everything hinges on what the judge thinks of Mr. White's past, and it's a long one.
Mr. White's had some issues in the past. He said it's different this time. He spent time in jail. It's helped him develop a new outlook. He told me he's going to follow your instructions. If you give him probation, he'll never be back here again. We like the recommendations, the probation, the outpatient treatment, weekly drug testing. He's had a drug problem. He needs to address that.
Mhm.
Also, the 180-day jail sanction is a good idea. We're in agreement with all that.
All right. So, Mr. White, is there anything you want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record, please.
My name is Dean Lorenzo White.
All right, what did you want to say?
So I was saying I made a mistake in my life when
Pause right here. Mr. White calls it a mistake. But the judge isn't buying it. And for good reason, this wasn't just an accident. When you pick up to tomahawks and approach someone, you're making choices, not just reacting. What do you think is there a difference between a mistake and a decision in this case?
Okay, you picked up 2 tomahawks. Did you think it was something else? Or did you know it was a tomahawk?
it was tomahawks. I just grabbed them and I wasn't thinking.
All right, so you grab 2 tomahawks. And according to this, it's with this Monique Gant,
Yes,
someone that you've used drugs with. I don't know why you all are still together because I read the PSI report and you have 2 children, younger children. You don't even know where they are because you were using drugs. She was using drugs. You didn't get your life together with CPS and your rights ended up being terminated and you're still with this person. So according to this, it says, because I want you to tell me where the mistake is. Victim stated that suspect, that's you, arrived at the location to charge his car battery. Suspect saw victim's car and went inside the house to take groceries that the victim bought. Suspect put 2 hatchets on victim's car. Suspect then grabbed a pole that was on the ground and tore through victim's taped up window and attempted to grab things from her vehicle. Suspect then grabbed the 2 hatchets and was swinging them around, approaching victim, coming within 5 feet of victim. Victim stated that suspect said, "I'm going to cut this bee," and noticed witness standing behind her. Victim stated that suspect walked to the neighbor's house and dropped off the 2 hatchets at the neighbor's house.
that's not true. I went to my mom's house. That was my mom's house. And I went
So
to-
why would you try to take groceries from the vehicle?
I didn't take no groceries from no vehicle.
Well, I mean, she said you cut through her window. I'm assuming the window
Yeah,
was.
no, I picked up the little pipe thing and it had plastic on the window and I tore it open.
Why?
I was intoxicated too, strong.
All right. Here's the thing, Mr. White. I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. And let me just tell you why. You've been on probation before. Then you have a theft case that you were convicted of. Then you have a criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have an assault case that you were convicted of. This started in the 80s. And then you have another criminal mischief that you were convicted of. Then you have another assault case, they say dismissed for insufficient evidence. It's probably dismissed because the complainant didn't want to go forward with it. Then you had a possession of marijuana, and I realized it's marijuana, but you were placed on probation for that, and your probation was revoked. Then you had another assault, and now we're in the 2010s. You had another assault, and you were given probation, and your probation was revoked. Then now you have a violation.
Okay, now we're in the criminal history section, and wow. This rap sheet reads like a criminal justice syllabus. Probation revocations, assaults, drug charges, burglary, even dealing cocaine. And notice how the judge brings up dismissed charges. Just because a case was dropped doesn't mean it's ignored during sentencing.
To commit theft by force, and you receive 15 years for that. And then you had another manufacturing delivering. You did time for that. Then you had an aggravated robbery. It was dismissed for missing witness, injury to the elderly, dismissed, missing witness. And now you're here before me. How old are you?
I'm going to be 62 years old.
All right. So I don't think you're a good candidate for probation.
Can I say something?
Sure.
See, I've changed my life. My mom got sick now. I'm old too. And I don't know if I had that much time left in my life. I really want to see my mom. She's in her 80s. If I go away, she will pass away. That's all I have in my life is my mom.
All right. So here's my question for you. And I'm not trying to be cruel, but you knew about your mom. Why would you do this? Knowing about your mom?
Well, my mom just got sick recently since I've been locked up.
Mm-hmm.
This year started since I got locked up. She's been in the hospital in and out about 4 or 5 times. She had a minor heart attack.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Well, I mean, these are things we need to consider, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is finding you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. The court will sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 005111. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Monique Gant, Gant, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, Mr. White. Your history doesn't look good, right? And sometimes I look at that, right? And I have to look at that because I have to consider everything. And so I'm looking at your history, and your offense is escalated. And then you have different issues where you are placed on probation, your probation gets revoked. You're given parole, you don't do well on parole. And I will tell you, I've done parole hearings before, and parole is so much easier than probation is. Because parole is sort of, in a way, it's sort of like college. And this is the best way I can explain it. when you're in public school and you're not in college yet,
This analogy from the judge is GOLD. Probation is like public school. Parole is like college. You get more freedom, but with that comes responsibility. And if you fail even with fewer restrictions, that's a red flag. The judge is laying it out clearly. Mr. White's past non-compliance makes parole a tough sell.
the parole issues that you've had, that tells me a lot. But I'm recommending the therapeutic community for you. The therapeutic community will help you when your parole time comes up, because they're going to see that you are actually doing something to try to help you with your drug addiction. Because when people are looking at whether or not to place you on parole, and I've done parole packets for my clients in the past too, they want to know, if they place you on parole, is this a person who's not going to commit any more offenses? So you need to be working on a plan. Like, I'm going to be doing sober support meetings. This is where I'm going to be doing them. This is where I'm going to be living. I'm going to be stable. This is how I'm showing you that I'm going to be stable. That's what you'll need to do for them, okay? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Good luck. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mankata Israel?
Yes, Your Honor. I might approach.
Yes.